Are you thinking about living in MacDonald Ranch? Well, today's video, we're gonna talk about the pros and the cons about living in the area. So stay tuned and let's hop into the video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the pros and cons about MacDonald Ranch. And if this is the first time you're checking out my YouTube channel, welcome. Thanks for checking us out. We talk about everything about Southern Nevada, real estate, mortgage finance. And for those of you that are thinking about relocating here to town, we've got you covered. This entire channel can help you understand more about the city, why we love living in Las Vegas, and why we love calling Las Vegas home. So if you guys have specific questions, always comment below or send me an email, send me a text to our contact information. I'd be happy to talk to you guys, help you get your financing in place, and just help you and give you peace of mind to understand the buying process, what it takes to purchase a home, either when you're relocating or if you're a first-time buyer and you're already living here. We can help you with that too. So guys, the only way I can help you is when you guys reach out to me. So please, here's my information below. Comment below if you guys have specific questions. I'm here for you to make it as smooth as possible. So like I talked about, today's video, we're gonna be talking about the pros and cons. So let's hop into the pros first about living in MacDonald Ranch. And one of the first things that comes to mind is the privacy. We are in a guard-gated community. We are here at the View development by Christopher Homes. It is an amazing new home track that they're building here within MacDonald Ranch. So if you guys have never been here, I definitely suggest if you're looking in probably the $1 million range for a brand new home, this is gonna be someplace I think you definitely wanna check out. Because again, look at that view behind me. You don't get that in many places here in Vegas. So it's kind of cool to be able to wake up to that or come home and just see the lights of the city. But like I said, one of the pros is going to be your privacy because it's a 24-hour guard-gated community. Unless you know someone or you have a reason to be in here, you're not just going to get a bunch of people just coming in and out of the place. So I think that's definitely top of the list for a lot of people that we've been talking to. So if you're looking for some privacy, this is a great place to start. Pro number two, if you're into golf, here in MacDonald Ranch, there's tons of golf courses around just minutes away. Or you can join Dragon Ridge, which is right here behind me, and be a part of the private golf club that they have there. So if you're a big golfer and you haven't played Dragon Ridge, I definitely would recommend checking that out because it's a pretty cool course. I've never played it myself just yet because I'm still working on my golf game, but the minute I'm good enough, I'm definitely gonna head out there and check it out. But I've had a lot of friends that have played the course and say it's one of the most beautiful courses here in Las Vegas. So if you're a big golf buff, living here in MacDonald Ranch, again, you're gonna be minutes away from several golf courses and you got some really top tier courses that you can play as well. And another pro in this area is the architecture of all the homes. A lot of the properties have that modern vibe, and it's definitely not gonna be your track home that you see a lot here in Las Vegas. And I think that's what a lot of people think about, is that they think when you buy a house in Vegas, every house looks the same. If you buy in a specific track, yeah, that might be the case, but if you can afford to live in areas like this, I mean, you guys can see some of these homes as we're driving through. These things are amazing. No two homes look alike. Obviously, some of these homes are starting to have more of that modern touch and that modern feel, which again, that's kind of the in thing right now. And if you love that, like myself, I think those homes are beautiful, but you still have some of these other maybe Spanish villa type looking homes, or you have some of these more traditional looking homes. But nonetheless, I mean, these homes are, you know, a couple $1,000,000 and you're getting a lot of the top of the line upgrades that you can imagine in these properties, or you just have larger lots with bigger backyards and pools and all these other amenities that a lot of other homes in Vegas may not have. So again, if you're looking for something that's a little more unique, obviously a little higher in price point, and if you can afford it, this is the place that you definitely want to think about living in. Another pro about the MacDonald Ranch area is the school district. So according to niche.com, it rates the school district, I believe, an A rating. So you're gonna be in an area where the public schools are decent, or at least one of the better areas in Las Vegas. Now remember, Las Vegas in general is known for not having great schools, unfortunately. That's one thing that a lot of people do have gripes about and they're not happy about. So again, you got to find some of these areas like Green Valley in Henderson, MacDonald Ranch, where we just came from. These little higher end areas that seem to have the better school districts. So if you can get within that areas, that's going to be probably your prime and best bet. But of course, there's still some decent schools that are out there. You just got to do a little more research to see, what's going to make the most sense for you and your family. But that's where we can help you guys. If you guys do have specific questions about that, there's a lot of information online that you can look up schools, other parent reviews, maybe Facebook groups that you can get people's opinions, honest opinions as to what they think about some of the schools that are available here in the area. Now, let's hop into the cons about MacDonald Ranch. And one of the cons I will say about those homes that we literally just showed you guys is that there's no yard. The yard area is very, very small. In one of the properties, there's actually just a hot tub out there. So, if you're paying $1 million, I would think that you would want a yard to be able to enjoy. So I think that's a drawback. But then again, right, that's my opinion. Some of you that are relocating maybe from the East Coast and you're used to just, tight, cramped areas, that might be an amazing piece of property for you. But that's where coming to Vegas and just kind of getting an idea of what's available will give you a really good idea of the market, how far your money gets you, and the amenities. So, like I said, number one, I think the yard space in those specific homes that we looked at was a little tight. Now, I know there's obviously going to be homes that have much, much larger backyards within the MacDonald Ranch area. But again, just depending on what you qualify for, right, what you're willing to pay, that's going to be the bottom line at the end of the day. We can all have our dreams and wish lists of things that we want in a house, but if you're financing the house, the number one thing is going to come down to is what you qualify for. You might say you want to buy a $500,000 house, but maybe your credit score isn't high enough for you to qualify for that, or maybe your income isn't high enough, or maybe you just have too much debt that you have to pay off. That's why you have to talk with a lender to figure out what can you qualify for, because once we know what you can get approved for, then you can start shopping for the right neighborhood that's going to be all within your price range. If you try to figure out the price range first, you're kind of working backwards, and a lot of times if you don't get approved for what you're looking for, a lot of people get disappointed, and sometimes they feel like buying a house isn't right for them, or they make an emotional decision based on them not qualifying. And you not being able to qualify for a loan, it's not anything to take personal. It's just certain things need to be corrected, and a lot of times it's easily correctable. So get with a lender, and if someone tells you don't qualify, ask them for a reason why, and they should be able to give you a reason or give you a roadmap to tell you, hey, if you knock out these certain things, maybe in the next 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months, however long it takes you to do those items, you can then purchase a home. That's what a good lender will do, and kind of walk you through that process. Now again, if you got to work on your credit, you got to pay down your debt, or maybe you need to show more income on your tax returns, right? That's on you as the borrower now. You can't blame that on the lender. You have to go and figure that piece out in order to purchase what you're looking for. Another con, looking in the MacDonald Ranch area, even though you're looking at $1 million houses, these things are flying off the shelves, right? The sales lady literally just told us they were selling about 2 homes a month. And recently, she said they've been selling at least 4 or 5 a month now. So their sales have doubled because of everything that's been going on with COVID and people just relocating. She said the number one place that people are relocating from is California. So if you could imagine, right, these guys are probably selling their homes. They're probably cashing out a few $100,000, and they're moving their money here. They're moving to Vegas, no state income tax. They're tired of, just living out there in California, and they're coming here and they're buying these properties. So if you're thinking of buying, the con is you have to make a quick decision. The market's moving very, very fast, and timing is everything, right? So if you're looking at a brand new home like we just showed you, those homes take about 12 months to get completed. So if you're thinking of moving, you got to get your ducks in a row, right? Like if it's a year out for you to build that home, you need to talk to your lender a year in advance to figure out, can you qualify? Can you purchase? Can you start running the numbers to figure out, can I make these numbers work in order to sell your property, take advantage of the market, and then purchase? And then all the other things that come with purchasing, like locking in the interest rate. Does your lender have a lock policy that you can lock that far in advance? Or how far in advance can you lock your rate? A lot of questions that we get every day is, what's your rate? What's your rate? Everybody wants to know what your interest rate is. But guys, you can't lock your interest rate in unless you're in contract on a house to buy. So I always tell people, even if the rate was 1% today, I can't even give that to you because you're not even in contract on a house yet. So more importantly, you have to be able to find a house that's going to work for you, and then you can start to figure out what that rate is going to look like so you can lock that in. So if you're thinking of buying, make sure that if you're serious, you got to move quick because the market's moving fast. There's real solid buyers that are out there that are buying, that have cash, that are well qualified, that are willing to pay, right? And that's kind of the market that we're in right now. And you have to be prepared mentally for that when you get serious about buying a house. Another con is going to be the HOA. Now, there's one thing to have an HOA here in Vegas. Like we said, a lot of the communities, they're going to be pretty cheap, $50, $60 a month, just depending on the amenities. But again, living in MacDonald Ranch, you're talking $300+ a month. It's 24-hour guard gated. There's all the amenities that you get within living within the community. So if you're not a fan of HOAs, you definitely want to stay away. And even if you are a fan of HOAs or you're okay with it, you have to be okay at paying that high level of an HOA. So that might deter you from wanting to live in the community simply because of that. So again, check with your real estate agent when you guys are shopping around. Look for the HOAs. How much are they? How often do you need to pay them? Because all those added fees have to go into your qualifications when you're looking to get approved for financing. And again, if you work with a lender that's not familiar with that, they can overlook that and cost you your home loan. I actually had a client who went to an online lender. They got her approved for financing, but the deal fell apart because they did not take into account the 2 HOAs that she actually had to pay on her property. So luckily, she came to us. We were able to rework some numbers for her, pay off some debt in order for her to qualify to purchase that property. But you definitely need to take that into account if you guys are, again, shopping around, right? And you guys are asking the question, what's my rate? And like I always say, a lot of these online lenders, they're going to be the cheapest lenders in town, but they're not going to give you the strategy. They're not going to give you options. They're just going to throw you into a program and hopefully it works. And unfortunately for that person, that's kind of what happened, but she was able to find us and we helped her out in order to purchase the home. So again, I always say strategy trumps rate all the time. If you want the lowest rate, online lenders are going to be the way to go. They'll beat anybody in town. But if you need some strategy, you have some questions, you want other options to look at, working with any other lender, retail lender is going to be the way to go. Preferably somebody local in the market that really understands the financing and nuances of how to get stuff done. That's going to be your best bet in order to help you kind of cross that finish line. So there you have it. We got the pros and the cons about MacDonald Ranch. Obviously, there's a lot more that we can cover, but we got to cut the video short for you guys. So if you guys have specific questions about the community, about the area, anything that you think we might have missed, comment below, send me a text to my contact info or send me an email. We'd be happy to get you guys answers to any of those specific questions. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. and really enjoyed the homes and some of the sites up there, because I think it's one of the great parts of town. Amazing community, definitely worth taking a look at and really taking in the entire valley. So it's super cool to be able to share that with you guys. Again, if you guys like the video, comment below, subscribe to our channel, spread the love, share this with your friends and family that's maybe thinking about moving here to Vegas. So I appreciate you guys watching, and as always, I will see you on the next one.